All right, what's up there, YouTube? Okay, so today I wanted to talk about another thing I wanted to discuss was this whole conversation that we keep going over with the 1 card slot and the 2 card slots and 3 card slots, and this camera has the new Panasonic has an XQD and an SD, and is XQD better than SD, and or will memory cards fail, or my card doesn't fail, my cards never failed. It's a ridiculous conversation, because you have to think about what the goal is. See, here's the problem. The problem is what the goal is. Okay, so first let's talk about this thing here. What's the goal? You got your camera, you're trying to take pictures, and if you're not doing it professionally, who cares? You're one shot. If you lose a shot, it's not the end of the world. You took a shot and the camera crashed and you lost your pictures that you got. Yes, you'd be upset because you had family pictures on there, but you wouldn't be devastated. It'd be devastating. It'd be pretty bad if it was like all your kids' birthday pictures, and then you went to take another picture and it failed and you lost all the pictures from your child's first birthday or something like that. But you could always retake the pictures while you're still there, or whatever. But anyway, it's not good either way. But the point is what's the goal? The goal is to have a backup, right? The goal is redundancy. To have a redundancy backup. I keep seeing angry photographer and other people, it's redundancy is God, redundancy is God. You're absolutely right, redundancy is God. Not 2 card slots. 2 card slots isn't God. 2 card slots is a means to an end, and means to redundancy. You could have 1 card slot and internal memory. You could have 1 card slot and instant wireless transfer to your smart device or your laptop or PC. You're like, well, it doesn't transfer fast enough. For a backup, it does. For just a simple, I want to have something just in case something happens, the JPEGs transferred through SnapBridge to my phone is a perfect example of redundancy backup, just in case something happens. Nothing happened on any shoot that I did it on, but I had a copy on backup just in case. And yeah, it wasn't a backup of the raw file, so I couldn't edit it quite as much. But I got the shot. I got it on the thing. I only had that shot once. I don't do that much editing and post anyway on my. I get the shots right in camera. Maybe that's the thing. People freak out. Well, I can't have just JPEG. I have to have them in RAW so I can edit them. How much editing are you doing? Maybe you need to learn how to take better pictures so you don't have to edit as much. I do minor tweaks to it. I could do the same tweaks to JPEGs, honestly. And if it's copying the full-size JPEGs over the thing, I could do the same tweaks to JPEGs that I do to RAW. I very rarely get it where I'm having to pull shadows out of an image. Pulls detail out of the shadows. Usually it's because my flash didn't fire, right? Like the battery was dead or the battery died, and I was like, crap, I got to change batteries real quick in my flash. And I didn't have, so the flash didn't go off, so I got a dark shot. And I'm like, damn, I wish I got that. And then I could raise them, and Nikon raised the shadows on the raw file. So let's take a look now. Now that we've figured out what the goal is. The goal is redundancy, whether it's an XQD and a wireless transfer to a smart device, XQD or SD. I'm said XQD because I got it up on my screen here. You can see XQD. XQD or SD with an internal memory backup. Now that makes sense. Why don't cameras have a built-in, say, 512 gigabyte, like half a terabyte of built-in storage, right? And that way you can put thousands of pictures on there. Like, well, that's not enough. Okay, if it's not enough, have a camera with a terabyte of built-in storage. They're coming out with smartphones with more storage and see, there's your perfect example. There's a smartphone, it's got a nice camera on it. It's got built-in memory to keep the pictures in the phone. And what happens to your pictures when you talk to somebody? Like my daughter had her phone and she's like, I don't want to lose my pictures. I'm like, well, just have them wirelessly back up into the cloud. And then you won't have them. So when you log in your account, there they are. Hey, there's an idea. Welcome to 2019. Why not just have the pictures that you take go on internal memory, right? Just like your smartphone, and also transfer wirelessly to another device or to the web, to the cloud, or wherever, so that you have a second copy. That's called redundancy. That's the goal, to have a second copy. The goal is not to have two cards in my phone so that I can have a backup. If phones always had two cards, I could see you going, well, this one only has one, therefore I can't do it. But if I said it had one card and internal memory that it copies to, so you'll have a backup, nobody would be upset. But when you do it on a DSLR, people are freaking out. You do it on a stills camera, people are freaking out. What? So I have to have one card in the camera and then the other one is backed up wirelessly? I don't want that. Why not? You do it on your phone. You're not complaining on your phone to have it go to your iDrive, whatever the heck. If you're using a Crapple phone and Crapple phone. We're going to go over phones on another video and why I can't stand Apple. But hey, you like Apple? It's your business. See, I don't like certain stuff. I like other stuff. Anyway, so let's go to the whole thing about XQD being more robust. I said in another video that it's more robust. I didn't say it's less likely to fail. I said it's robust. It's probably less likely to fail as much because it's so robust, because the pins don't get hit. Look, exactly what there's durable and reliable to protect data and images. Here it is, right on Sony's XQD site, a rugged case with recessed pins for contact protection. Now, but listen, it also, with the compatible device, also designed to protect contact pins and avoid inserting current in wrong direction, provides a more reliable use in harsh environments. Designed with recessed contact pins which protect them from damage, dust, or electronic shock. So if anybody's ever built computers, if you've ever worked with memory cards, flash drive is a perfect example. Why isn't this memory in a flash drive? I got a little 16 gigs SanDisk flash drive here. Why isn't the memory on this flash drive just exposed where you can put your hand on it? Why is it inside this little metal thing where I can't even put my fingers in there and touch it? The reason why is because you have static electricity, and if you accidentally touch that pin, you could ruin the memory in the thing, in the device. So they made XQD where the pins are covered, so that if you take that card, you're in a hurry, you shove it in your pocket or something, your finger doesn't touch it, your static electricity doesn't touch it and erase the memory in the card and cause failure. So it's less likely to fail because the pins are covered. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it won't fail, it can't fail. I'm saying that it's less likely to fail because they've done things to make it a more professional format to use. X-ray proof, magnet proof, X-ray proof, UV guard, anti-static. Static electricity kills memory. It's a fact. Static electricity kills memory. And if you look, recover raw move files taken on that DSLR. It's got a recovery software, just in case, because that does happen. It does happen. You can, nothing is fallible. I didn't say it was infallible. I said it's more professional. And look at the reasons on Sony. This is Sony's site, Sony.net. Sony XQD memory cards. See, this is Sony's website. What does it say? Clearing buffer faster, capture more decisive moments. So it's showing you that you can clear. There's a D500 and D5. Buffer clearing time, approximately 1 second. Compact flash, buffer clearing time, approximately 10 seconds. Now, I don't know why they didn't just say SD. You know. Number of shots, 137. Number of shots, 200 shots, 10 times faster. It clears the buffer in the same amount of time. You could take twice the shots. That's what Nikon's going for, because they know that this is going to be upgraded. They already said it's going to upgrade to CFast. So when it upgrades to CFast, that in time increases immensely because you don't have to change the format. It just writes to it like it's a hard drive. Anyway, Dependable 4K video. The most optimized card for FS7. That's a professional video camera. The FS7 is. It's a professional video camera. And they're telling you all the different stuff that it's used for. Transfer in less half of compact flash. Durable, reliable, protect data and images. It's a professional solution. Okay. So now that we have that under control, that we know that I'm not saying XQD cards are far better than SD cards. They are better. They're more professional, less likely because of magnet proof and anti-static, less likely to fail if you put one in your pocket, or if you keep them both in pristine and don't touch the pins and don't do anything, they're probably equal. But I know I'm shooting a wedding, I'm in a hurry, something's going on, my memory card fills or it gets close to full, I gotta hurry up and change it, pull it out, stick it in my pocket, pull the other one out, stick it in, and then pull the one out of my pocket while it's recording again. I don't have time to sit here and fiddle with it because I don't want to miss something. Pull it back out, stick the camera back in, the memory card back in the little control, in the holder, close it up, put it back in my pocket. That extra second step where I take it out real quick, hold it in my other hand. I've taken it out and put the card in my mouth before. The end of the card, not the pin side, but the end. So there's possibility of static when you're doing the handling of the SD cards that you don't have on the XQD. So if you're going to pick two formats for redundancy, so you got to have two. If you're going to pick a format to put in your camera, pick the most robust one at the time, right? It's professional. You want to protect your images. XQD makes the most sense right now because it's better than SD. It's not better because they're almost equal in speed, but it's better in the ways that I'm just showing you right here. Card durability, temperature proof, UV guard, X-ray proof, magnet proof, anti-static. Those things are not on SD cards. There is some SD cards, I think they come out. I think Sony came out with some durable SD cards, but they still have the pins showing. So they're not anti-static. They still have pins. They're still fallible. You know, they're still more likely to have a problem. Anyway, so that's one thing. The other thing I'd like to discuss is the future, right? Stop looking to the past. That's like complaining that this thing doesn't have two CF cards on it. And they're like, well, I don't really need CF cards anymore. We've got SD cards and XQD cards. Okay. So nobody's complaining that you still don't have two CF cards, right? And for all the people that are like, well, I want two cards because I want to have a backup. I already explained. You have a backup. You have a memory card and a wireless transfer as a backup. And they make $1,000 adapter. It goes on the back of the bottom of the Nikon. I probably have something similar for Canon. You put it on the bottom, you plug it into the USB-C port on the Z series cameras, and it transfers the images wirelessly, the raw images and movies wirelessly up to 650 feet at gigabit transfer speeds over dual channel wireless to your laptop or PC. So all you got to do is total a laptop, which I do at every wedding. I tote a laptop and transfer my images. I can't count the times when, as a videographer, that we'd take a break and I saw the photographer sitting there with a laptop dumping their images from the card to the laptop. All that handling, dumping the images, and they're in a rush to hurry up and dump the images. They start it while they go to eat, so that when they're done eating, they can pull those pictures up and make a little slideshow and set the laptop out to start playing the slideshow. Well, what if the pictures are already on the laptop? Because as you're taking them, they're wirelessly transferring. That's redundancy. That's your second copy on a separate device, even better than in the card on the camera. It's better than in the device you're on. You're taking pictures, right? You got your camera. You're taking pictures. Boom, boom, boom. I'm taking a bunch of pictures. Oh, this is fantastic. You're backing up. Now, as you're taking them on your camera, I'm pretending this is a camera because my camera's still in my bag because I shot a wedding yesterday. You're taking pictures on your camera, right? And you got two card slots in it. And it's transferring card slots. You're sitting there taking pictures. You're making backup copies on this device. Pretend this is a camera and not a smartphone. It's a smartphone, but let's pretend it's a camera. So you're taking pictures. All of a sudden, your phone comes on and you have to silence it. All of a sudden, you're backing up, you trip, and your camera falls into a pool, into a wading pool right there. What happens to your images? They're gone. The images on both cards in the camera are soaked, and something happens to the camera, and the images, both cards are ruined. So now you don't have any. Right? Now you don't have any backup copy, because both backups were in the same device. You've got one camera. They're in the same device. So what would make more sense? That scenario, or you're taking pictures, you're making a copy on this card, but you're also making a copy over there on your laptop, 600 feet away plugged in, 300 feet sitting over there. It's automatically transferring these same images to the laptop. You trip, fall, camera goes in the water, no big deal. You got the pictures over there on the laptop still. Right? They always say off-site backup's the best. There's off-site. They're over there in the laptop. So now you pull the camera out and you set it aside. You get your other camera, because any wedding photographer worth a grain of salt has at least two. At least. You have to have redundancy, backup. Not this one camera, but 2 cameras or 3 cameras or more. So there's your backup. Right? So now let's say maybe I'm crazy, right? Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe I'm just making up stuff, right? Would anybody argue that Zeiss is one of the best lens manufacturers in the world? No. Nobody would argue that fact. They've been in the business for how long? Like forever, right? They're coming out with a new camera. Zeiss built Adobe Lightroom into its full-frame fixed lens ZX1 camera. Okay, this is a full-frame fixed lens. They want you to concentrate on the art of taking pictures, not on fiddling with buttons. So it's got an ISO and a shutter speed dial on the top, or aperture, and the aperture ring on the lens. I mean, ISO and shutter speed on the top, aperture ring on the lens. It's got a built-in lens. So this isn't a camera for everybody, but this is more professional than any other point-and-shoot camera that has a fixed lens that I've ever seen. It's got a huge screen on the back. It's got built-in Lightroom. Guess what it doesn't have? A memory card slot. Has none. It's got built-in memory and wireless transfer. And what year is this? It's coming out 2019. So that's the future. I'm telling you, that's the future. When Samsung, a brilliant company, made the NX1 years ago, came out with the NX1, and it was a backside illuminated sensor competing directly with the GH4 or GH3, whatever it was at the time. It shot 4K. It did all this stuff, but the thing that I found absolutely the best feature, the best thing about that camera, was the screen on the back. The operating system on the camera was like Android. It was like a smartphone, Android or iOS or whatever. It was like that. Simple buttons, swipe through the menus, pick the thing that you want, pick little blue dots just like this. See the blue dot right there? It was just like that. You picked what you wanted. You said, okay, I'm taking video. You pick the little thing, then you start recording. It was not the old clunky user interface that we had in the past. And the second feature that I liked the best about it was it had instant. If you had a Samsung phone and you connected to the camera, it would wirelessly transfer the images to your phone as a backup in your pocket. I thought that was brilliant. Even if it had 2 cards, I can't remember if it had 2 cards or 1. Either way, it doesn't really matter. You had a second backup on your camera, on your phone. So there it is. And I said, that's the future. Then, that was like a couple years ago. And here it is. Here we are now. A couple years later, and the thing is built in. It's got the same idea. It's probably going to be around $3,000, but because it's expensive. But the fact that your photos also sync directly to Lightroom on the desktop is pretty great too. So it automatically syncs your camera, your phone, your images directly to your Lightroom. It automatically syncs this stuff up to your thing. So you get back, you don't have to transfer anything. It's already there. You start editing right away. That's smart. The camera supports Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and USB-C connections. So there are plenty of ways to get the photos somewhere useful too. So The interesting thing about this is it has 512 gigs of built-in storage, so you don't even need an SD card. It's not even clear if the camera accepts SD cards. It doesn't. I saw the videos. There's no SD card slot at all anywhere on it. It's a very minimal, but it's focusing on the art of taking pictures, which is what we should all, as photographers and videographers, be focused on. Is what's in front of us, the image in front of us. So what we're trying to capture. Spend more time capturing beautiful images and less time worrying about how am I going to back this up? Does it have 1 or 2 card slots, or does it do this, or does it do that? Let's get back to taking pictures. In that way, I agree with several other YouTubers that have been defending Canon and other stuff. Let's get back to actually taking pictures. Show me what you do, right? So anyway, I just thought I'd bring this up this morning, because I was having another conversation with a guy who got very mad when I told him that he didn't need 2 card slots, that it was old technology, and it is. This is new technology. That's old technology. We're past that already. We've got fast enough wireless, fast enough Wi-Fi, fast enough wireless connectivity, better connectivity with phones. We've got all the stuff, all the tools available to wirelessly offload the images to a second redundant backup location. So there's no reason to have 2 card slots. And in fact, the opening of a door and sticking a card in will seem ridiculous in just a few years. I'm telling you, it's going to seem absolute. You're going to be like, why would you have a slot where you put a card in? It's an opening in your camera to cause you can get moisture and stuff in. This thing's sealed up. I can just take pictures. I don't need to be fiddling around with cards and losing cards. I can just pop them. I can just take the pictures there and they transfer wirelessly. It's the future, people. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys think. Give this video a thumbs up if you think this is the future, or thumbs down if you don't. If you think, no, I want my 2 card slots. I want my CF cards. I want my redundant card backup, because I'm mad that this doesn't have it, because I bought a Sony last year, very upset that they didn't have 2 card slots. Then when they finally did get 2 card slots, I bought one because it had 2 card slots, and now you're telling me again that I don't need 2 card slots because I have a wireless backup, which the Sony didn't have a wireless backup. They've got some kind of form, but they're getting it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Give this video a thumbs up if you like, the thumbs down if you didn't. Be sure to like and subscribe. Share this video with other people and ask them what they think. What do you think of that? Do I make sense, or am I just a bumbling idiot? I realize I'm a bumbling idiot, but